Good? This regular meeting of the Navasota City Council is called to order on this Monday, the 22nd day of May, in the council chambers. Let the record show all council members are present, with the exception of Councilmember Peterson, who is out ill this evening. Now, welcome and thank you for being here tonight. I ask that you put your cell phones in the silent mode. And visitors, please sign in. If you wish to speak under visitors' remarks, please fill out the form found in back. State your name and address at the podium, as we must document all meeting business and remarks limited to 3 minutes. Tonight's invocation will be led by Pastor Mac Vaughn, then followed by the pledges.
Let's pray. Oh, gracious God, we give you thanks. Give you thanks for the many blessings you continue to pour out upon our lives, even when we don't deserve it. God, we thank you for the leadership of this city. We thank you for the leadership of our county. God, we thank you for the citizens that are here that always have positive input on everything that we do. God, we thank you for the blessing of this city in the night that we've assembled to carry on the business of the city. We give you thanks and praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Item 3, remarks of visitors. We have one, Roosevelt Ellis. You can pass that down to Cynthia.
Good afternoon. My name is Roosevelt Ellis. I reside at 423 East Baxter Street, Navasota, Texas. I'm here to file a complaint with the code enforcer. This violation is located next to my property, on property of 700 McNair Street, Navasota, Texas, which I am an heir of the property listed in the name of Ethelyn K., deceased. No correspondence was never sent nor received by Frank Ellis, another heir, in Lake City, Florida, notifying him of a variance granted by the zoning department, allowing the next landowner next to us to construct a house, and the structure is 5 feet from the property line, whereas the ordinance states the structure should be 7 feet from the boundary. I was never notified of this variance to this ordinance. The owner has adequate footage on the other side. They could have located the structure and complied with the ordinance. I also notified Code Enforcer Eric Carabas about this violation, and to this date, no response was received from him. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
I have copies for each council member, please.
Mayor and council, we can get with the city manager and the code enforcement officer and delve into this issue.
Thank you. Thank you.
Others,
That's all.
Okay. We'll get silly here for a minute. This thing's gonna fit just right. We make it special, man.
Absolutely.
How does it? It does fit.
Mayor, do you want to call that item first?
Yeah. We're going to present certificates of completion to the 2023 Navasota Citizens University graduates.
Can I go ahead and read what we have first before you? Okay.
Yeah.
Mayor and City Council, the Navasota Citizens University for 2023 began on April the 4th of 2023. There were 8 classes held that highlighted individual departments. The City of Navasota originally had 24 participants registered for NCU, but ended up with 21 participants when the session began. This past Tuesday, May 16th, was the last session. To receive a certificate of completion, a participant could not miss more than 2 sessions. Unfortunately, there were 6 participants that missed 3 or more meetings. Therefore, tonight, the City Council will acknowledge and present certificates to the completion to the following 16 citizens that you're fixing to announce. And I also wanted to say that staff has received numerous compliments on how well the program was ran and the abundance of information that was provided to each of them. An evaluation form was provided to the participants, and staff will provide that feedback later once we receive all the evaluations and when they are tabulated. And I would also like to give a big thank you out to the Executive Administrative Assistant, Michelle Savinsky, for doing such a great job on her first year with Navasota Citizens University. And she's already got ideas for next year to bring this program back, and I know she will do a great job in 2024 with Citizens University.
Thank you.
So,
Rick, I know we have some alumni in the house tonight. You just raise your hand and say, hey, you're an alumni. You've been the first inaugural class of NCU. All right.
and Deborah raised her hand too. Or Deborah Richardson too, as well.
Yeah, I saw, yeah, you bet.
Okay, so do you want to
All right,
announce
she's
them?
gonna call the name, and if you would, when we make the presentation, if you would just stay up here, and we'll get a.
We're gonna get a
we'll
picture.
group picture. of everybody.
Okay, so Megan Barczyk,
Applause is welcome.
yeah, we're gonna do a group picture. Michael Medeiros. Jennifer Ramirez. Sabrina Killingsworth. Gotti McDonald. David Ramirez. Michelle Steinhauser. James Harris. Let's see, who else? Is Iris here? No. Ed Murphy. Ernest McCraw.
Get close like you like.
Tanya Britton. Greg here, Anderson? No. Let me see who else. Monica? No. I'm just checking the last ones. Mr. Vadato? There we go, Louis Vadato. I'm sorry I couldn't see him back there. Alan Phillips, is he here? No. Or Miss Hudson? She's at book club, okay. I think this is all we have this evening. Anybody else that I missed? No? All right, let me get my phone. I'll take a picture.
Do a double row, maybe.
Do it 2 rows.
And make sure we center in between the steel. Yes.
Next, we have a proclamation for the VFW Buddy Poppy. Whereas the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States has been officially recognized and endorsed by governmental leaders since 1922. VFW Buddy Poppies are assembled and disabled veterans, and the proceeds of this worthy fundraising campaign are used exclusively for the benefit of disabled and needy veterans and the widows of orphans of deceased veterans. And the basic purpose of the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the Veterans of Foreign Wars is eloquently reflected in the desire to honor the dead by helping the living. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Burt Miller, Mayor of the City of Navasota, do hereby urge the citizens of the community to recognize the merits of this cause on May 27th, 2023, by contributing generously to its support through your donations for Buddy Poppies on the day set aside for the distribution of these symbols of appreciation for the sacrifices of our honored dead. I also urge all patriotic citizens to wear a Buddy Poppy as evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country who have risked their lives in defense of the freedoms which we continue to enjoy as American citizens. Anyone here tonight representing the VFW like to come forward, please?
George, I was wondering if you were going to raise your hand. I'm like, that's the Buddy Poppy lady right there.
Bert, you'll have to come over to center this still. Strict instructions.
Well, I was just gonna say, everybody ought to come to your place and get a drink or food on the 27th, because we're gonna be at your front door. 27th, May 27th, but we'll be all around different areas, Brookshire Brothers and I think maybe Arlen's
Come get you, Buddy Poppy.
exactly. Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
You got the next one. You want to announce anything?
Peggy was,
Okay. Got Miss Peggy for a presentation for quarterly employee awards.
Good evening. Peggy Johnson, Human Resource Director, Matt Miller, and the council members. At this time, I would like to do the recognition of our first quarterly employees for the year of 2023. We have two categories. One is Above and Beyond Award, and the Above and Beyond Award is an employee's award given to the team member who shows the most initiative and desire to go above and beyond the outlined duties of their job description. This award goes to the person who best amplifies the phrase team player. And our second award that we will be giving for this first quarter will be the, the Best Customer Hero Award. And it is for an employee that amplifies the best customer service and create positive relationships with the people they serve. And this afternoon, I would like to present our Above and Beyond Award to Miss Tiffany Byers. Thank you, Tiffany.
By the way,
Congratulations.
these are voted by staff,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
These are
Correct.
not, these are by their fellow
Employees.
coworkers.
And the Best Customer Hero Service Award is for 2023 first quarter is Mr. Rodriguez Hernandez.
Oh, don't lose it.
Give some information on what the employees, their coworkers had to say during the nomination for these awards. And for for the Above and Beyond Award, for Miss Tiffany Byers, it says, no matter the role, Tiffany goes over and beyond for the city of Navasota. She has so many great ideas, constantly contributing creative solutions and ideas for the library and other staff members, and is always happy to help her coworkers. She has done an outstanding job serving the community and the patrons of all ages at the public library. We have seen the hard work put forth by her every day through her dedication and excellent job performance. So congratulations again, Ms. Tiffany. And for our Customer Service Hero Award, employees said that Mr. Rodriguez Hernandez is respectful and always ready to help anyone, courtesy, and friendly to customers. So congratulations.
Mayor and City Council, the next item, Peggy Johnson will introduce the new employee for the police department.
Peggy Johnson, Human Resource Director. Mayor Miller and council members, I would like to introduce to you our new employee for the Navasota Police Department, and he is Hector Arging, Jr. Please stand. He was hired on May 8th as a police officer with the Navasota Police Department. Hector, born and raised in Bryan, Texas, graduated from Bryan High School in 2013. Afterwards, he received his Associates of Art in Criminal Justice in 2017 from Glenn College. In 2020, Hector attended and completed the Bryant Police Academy Basic Police Officer course. In 2022, he completed his studies at Sam Houston State University, where he received a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice and was employed with the city of Bryan for the year of 2020-2021. So if y'all would help me to welcome him to the city of Nashville.
Mayor and City Council, the next item, Jennifer Reyna will give an update on the CIP projects.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jennifer Reyna, Public Works Director. James, I usually stare at Grant when I give these projects updates, so you're
Now
my
you got
person.
me.
I'm going to be staring at you from now on, so I hope you don't mind.
Go ahead.
First, I would like to start out with is the 34 fire hydrant replacement project. As of today, we have done a total of 18 fire hydrant replacements. We're about halfway through. We should be completed with this project by the end of June. Hollister Natural Gas Regulator Station, right now it's in the fabrication phase of the project. By the end of June, that should be completed, and then once that phase is done, then we move on to the installation phase, and then installation phase takes to 2 to 3 weeks. So that's moving along pretty well. And then I have the natural gas line extension and loop project that we're going to be extending gas from FM 379 along Woodrow Woodrow Jackson, down to West 105, and then to the west side of town where all the development is being done at Pecan Lakes. So that's about 30% completed of design phase with Strand Associates. So once that is completed, they'll meet with us, we'll get some feedback to the engineers, and then we'll discuss some, they'll give us some input on the design part of the project. Then we're going to move on to the Street and Utilities Capital Improvement Project. That starts this week. That is the big $7.6 million utility and street project that's actually a bond. That is going to also begin with the annual street maintenance project that starts at end or beginning of June. So those two projects will begin almost at the same time. So a press release was just sent out today for these two projects. We'll have quite a bit going on with two contractors that will be throughout the town. The work hours are usually from 7 to 6. There may be possible weekends involved. We're going to keep the public informed as much as possible with these two projects, but those two projects will start within the next week or so. If residents have any questions on these two projects, please feel free to call Public Works Department at 936-825-6450, and we can help them out on any questions. We have placed maps and a description of these two projects at our front reception desk, and you can find it on our website, Facebook. It will also be a press release, so you'll hear it on the news and radio. Well 7, we had some major
Jennifer,
repairs.
sorry to interrupt you. When do you think that project will be done?
So the two projects are two different lengths. The major CIP utility and street rehabilitation project is a 420-day calendar project. So we're looking at a year and a half. The street maintenance is like a chip seal type maintenance project, and that is a 90-day project. So you're talking about probably by the end of October is a good time frame of that project being done. Do you agree with that, Jose? End of August? 90 days at the end of August. Okay. So we're going to shoot for end of August. But this should be completed pretty quickly. The one that's going to be around for a while is the big $7.6 million utility and street project. But as we go, we're going to inform the public of water outages, road closures, etc. for this project as much as possible. But we're more than, please give us a call if y'all have any questions on any of this.
Which side of town is this going to start on, Jennifer?
We're going to be starting over there by the school. We're going to start over there on Neal Street, Judson Street, North Post Oak, in that area. Shoemaker, that's going to be for that area. I think the street project, we're going to be in the same area all at once. Yeah, so we're going to start on that side of town.
So you're going to take care of one section of town, then move to the other section? You're not going to be jumping back and forth?
I don't think we're going to be jumping around. It depends. We're not going to be jumping around on that. We just kind of have I will say the last street will be Fairway Drive. So if you want to know about Fairway Drive, that will be the last street on the whole entire project. Due to the construction of the traffic, heavy flow of traffic going there, we're going to wait to that one to be last on the project. So there's not really, we're starting at the school so we can try to be done over in that area before school starts. That is our goal, and we'll work with the school if there's any other, if we can't make that goal. We're hoping to make that goal. Do y'all have any questions on those two projects? No? Well 4 and 7, we have two of those wells that we just approved repairs on. Well 7 is our biggest producing well, which will be back in service tomorrow. So we got our test labs back, everything's fine with those. And then so we'll put that well back in service. Well 4 is kind of a backup well when other wells don't work, or there will work, when there's high months of water production. And so well 4 will be back probably back in service in the next upcoming month or so. But everything's working fine on well 7. Like I said, we'll be putting that back into service starting tomorrow. Airport, on the AWAS is still in test mode. You can access that if you were a pilot on the radio frequency of 120.92, or if you really want to know what it sounds like, give it a call and you can get a weather update. There's a phone number of 936-825-0798, and it will give you a weather update. But it will give it to you in pilot terms, so if you're not a pilot, you may not know anything about it.
It's raining. And the equipment is still on back order.
The equipment is here. We did install it. We are just waiting on the things to be checked out by the FAA to make sure everything's up and going, and that we're putting out, broadcasting true information. So it has been installed, it just needs to be in commission. Then the airport utilities for the north side, we have a bid opening. I do believe it's going to be June the 8th, and then we'll return later that month to do award on that project. Let's see. I think I have pretty much almost everything covered. Do y'all have any questions on anything else, any other projects?
Yes, I do. In riding around yesterday, I've seen quite a bit of fire hydrants.
Yes.
Is a label out of service. Can you explain that?
So there are some that are out of services, and some of them are on our list, and some of them are not on our list. We do put a shield on there when they are not active at all. But I don't really have an explanation of, I don't know which one you're looking at, or I don't know if it's on the list to be repaired. We do have a hydrant maintenance budgeted for this year, and we're trying to go around and get all of them done. But we have this project that has a total of 34 that's being replaced. But we do have much more out of service that.
So just because it said out of service doesn't mean it's one that's going to get replaced?
That's correct.
Okay.
Right. But we're slowly getting that taken care of. If you can give me probably an area, or give me a call, I can kind of give you some information.
I'll do it.
Or I can provide a list of the hydrants that we do have on this replacement list, and what we have scheduled for the future of being repaired or replaced.
Yes. Can you just give me a list, please?
Sure, I can get that to you. Anything else? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor and City Council, the next item, Chief of Police Mike Mize will give an update on the NRA grant.
Mayor, City Council, Mike Mize, Chief of Police. It's just a final report for a grant that we applied for last year. 2022, we applied with a Friends of NRA grant for training ammo. We were awarded just over $3,200 with that grant. Received the funds, and the funds were used to purchase training ammo, 9mm 223, and the 12 gauge less lethal ammo, so we can host some more training practices with officers.
Any reports from council on boards and commissions?
Yes, sir. Planning and Zoning met May the 11th, and the item on the agenda was to approve the preliminary site plan for Wildflower Mead and Beer Company, and it was approved.
Any other reports? Okay. Just want to mention that the animal shelter is full, so we need anyone that's interested in adopting a pet, please, you can call 825-6641, and they can set up an appointment. You can come out and check out I think that we posted on Facebook some pretty cute little doggy faces, so hopefully some of y'all will be interested in adopting. Spread the word. Thank you. Item 5, consideration and possible action on the election of a council member to serve as mayor of the city of Navasota.
Mayor and City Council, the City Charter, Article 4, Section 13 of the City of Navasota reads as follows. The council members shall elect one of their members as chairman at the first regular meeting following their election. He or she shall be called mayor and shall be the presiding officer of the City Council. He or she shall vote as a member of the council on all matters coming before the body, sign all bonds, warrants, and other official documents, be the official lead of the city, and exercise all power and resolution of the City Council. Therefore, this time we are requesting that the members elect a member of the City Council as mayor for the City of Navasota.
Mr. Mayor, I move that you, Bert Miller, be nominated as mayor and that nominations be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and second for myself as mayor. No other nominations closed. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, and I didn't oppose. Thank you. Item 6, consideration and possible action on the election of a council member to serve as mayor pro tem for the city of Navasota.
Mayor and City Council, the City Charter, Article 4, Section 14 of the City of Navasota reads as follows. The mayor pro tem shall be selected from among the members of the City Council and shall perform all the duties of the mayor in his or her absence or disability. Therefore, the council members need to elect one person to serve as mayor pro tem for the City of Navasota.
I entertain a motion for mayor pro tem.
Mr. Mayor, I nominate Patty Peterson as mayor pro tem.
We have a second. And it fails due to
No second. Yes, Your Honor.
Open up for another motion.
Mr. Mayor, I nominate Bernie Gessner as mayor pro tem.
I have a motion by Mr. Harris for Mr. Gessner as mayor pro tem.
Second.
We have a second for Mr. Fultz. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Congratulations, Mr. Gessner. And I didn't welcome you earlier, but welcome James to the dais up here. Item 7, conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding voluntary annexation petition submitted by Stanley Kettler and Jeanette Welch for a 1.909 acre tract of land located in the Jesse B. McNeely survey A44, Grimes County, Texas 77868, followed by discussion and action, possible action on first reading of ordinance 1023-23, approving a voluntary annexation petition for a 1.909 acre tract of land located in the Jesse B. McNeely Survey, A44 in Grimes County, Texas 77868. And we open the hearing at 6:36.
Jason Katkowski, Fire Chief. Mayor and City Council, the City of Navasota received a voluntary petition for annexation by property owners Stanley Kettler and Jeanette Welch for a 1.909 acre tract. Since early 2022, staff have been working closely with developer Chandler Arden on a plan to provide municipal services to its proposed 96.618 acre 400 lot single family residential development. The plan includes the construction of a City of Navasota water tower and other water facilities within the property boundaries. Staff has coordinated with contiguous property owners to allow for an annexation strip connecting the proposed project area to the city limits.
So this hearing is open, and if anyone would like to speak to this item.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, just to clear it up, our ultimate goal is to annex the larger piece of property that Mr. Chandler Arden owns, that he's going to develop. In order to annex this property, it has to be contiguous with the City of Navasota's present boundaries, and it is separated somewhat. So this and the next item, the next piece of property, serve two purposes. One, there's going to be a connection between the present city limits and the new property, and secondly, they're going to provide a corridor for utilities. So this one and the next two items will be one package.
Anyone wish to speak to this item? We'll close the hearing at 6:38. And at this time, I will call for a vote on first reading of ordinance 1023-23, approving a voluntary annexation petition.
We need a motion.
Need a motion.
Need a motion. Mr. Mayor, I move that.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I move that we approve the ordinance 1023-23.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve on first reading ordinance 1023-23. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Item carries. Next is item number 8. City Council conducts a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding a voluntary annexation petition submitted by Jinx M. Lee for a 0.336 acre tract of land located in the Jesse B. McNeely Survey, A44, Grimes County, Texas, followed by a discussion and possible action on the first reading of ordinance 1024-23, approving a voluntary annexation petition for a 0.336 acre tract of land in the Jesse B. McNeely Survey, A44 in Grimes County.
Mayor and City Council, this is going to be, as Councilman Gessner referenced, going to be the second part of this annexation plan. We have received a voluntary petition for annexation by property owner Jinx Lee for a parcel of land for 3.336 acres that will connect the last annexation to the next piece, the larger piece.
Now open this hearing at 6:40. Anyone wish to speak to this item? 6:41, we'll close the hearing. Entertain a motion for first reading of 1024-23.
I so move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fultz, second by Mr. Gessner to approve ordinance 1024-23 on first reading. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. And item 9, City Council will conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding a voluntary annexation petition submitted by Grimes Altamira LLC for a 96.618 acre tract of land in the Jesse B. McNeely Survey, A44, Grimes County, Texas. Followed by discussion and possible action on first reading of ordinance 1025-23, approving a voluntary annexation petition for that 96.618 acre tract of land.
Mr. Mayor and council, this is going to be the last piece of this.
The big piece.
The big piece. City of Navasota received a voluntary petition for annexation by property owner Grimes Altamira LLC, Chandler Arden, for a 96.618 acre tract for his 400 lot single family subdivision. And Mr. Arden is here if you have any questions for him.
We'll open the hearing at 6:42. Mr. Arden, do you have any, you're more than welcome. If you want to say anything, you're welcome to. If not. Maybe tell us a little bit about your plans.
Councilman, thank you for having us and considering this proposal. We're very excited to be here today. It's taken a long time to get to this point, and lots of people have had to be involved. Sorry that a couple of them aren't here tonight. Lupe and Jason have been critical to get this to happen. A little bit about the project. It's really not just me. I'm just the engineer driving the train. We have a couple of partners involved. One is our contractor, a guy named Andy Cervantes, and his wife. They're not here tonight. My wife is here tonight. We're involved. The builders involved are Stylecraft and Avonlea Homes, both out of College Station, Texas. And we're very excited to bring hopefully a really nice product here to Navasota on the east side of town. So we're very excited about being over there and excited about extending utilities and providing some nice homes on that side of town. Altamira has history in Grimes County, and we just thought it was a cool name. It means high view, and I think it's nice that the water tower will be there on the high part of the area. I think Altamira actually came from Anderson. It was a village over there, but the name kind of stuck. So we're excited about the name and the history and having a little extra history over there. If you know about it, I think it'll be cared for, and we're happy to have some unique history on the property. Thanks again.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to this item? Okay, we'll close the hearing at 6:45.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the first reading of ordinance 1025-23.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fultz, second by Mr. Gessner to approve on first reading ordinance 1025-23, approving the voluntary annexation petition for 96.618 acre tract of land of Jesse B. McNeely Survey, A44 in Grimes County, Texas. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any approve? Any? So much. Passes. Item 10, consideration and possible action on resolution 740-23, authorizing the selection of professional services for the City of Navasota Natural Gas Distribution Safety and Modernization Grant Program.
Mayor and City Council, Vet Fanning, our grant coordinator, is here to speak on this item.
Yvette Fannin, Grants Coordinator, Mayor, City Council. This is the gas distribution grant. We currently have 12 gas regulators in the city. We have approved to update one, and this grant specifically is to be able to update several throughout the city. We sent out requests for proposals on April 26th with a deadline of May 10th at 2 p.m. We ran a newspaper ad in the Examiner on April 26th. Staff received one proposal, and that was from GrantWorks. We do recommend going with GrantWorks as they did present the grant to us, and they do seem to be the most knowledgeable in this specific area.
Do you have any idea, this might be beyond your purview, but do you have any idea what the average life of these gas regulator setups is?
Actually, we have Strand Engineering here that may can answer that question. In just one moment, let me get Mark.
Generally, they last a really long time, and even once they get to the point where they need to be rehabbed, the metal integrity lasts for quite a while. But I'd say, on the neighborhood of 20 to 30 years before you actually have to rehab and repaint the station, all that kind of stuff.
So where are we with the rest of them? Do you know? Are we in a situation where they were all put in at one time and they're all going to go out at the same time?
I think that most of them are about the same age. Is that right? Yeah. I don't know the exact time frame, but generally they're all in comparable condition.
So we got a big cost coming up.
Well, that's what the grant is here to help cover that.
And there's no match requirement.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve Resolution 740-23.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Foote, second by Mr. Gessner to approve Resolution 740-23.
And does that resolution include the name GrantWorks? That needs to be...
Yes, to name GrantWorks.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hiring of GrantWorks for grant administration services related to natural gas distribution and safety and modernization grant program. And again, this is just to apply. So, any further discussion?
'Cause I had one little question, and let me see if I can find it. In the cost of the services, this, it's 6.5%,
6.5%.
but it had an extra thing in there on acquisitions. And I was wondering what the acquisitions were. There's a
That's
separate,
something I was gonna follow up with GrantWorks with if we were to hire them, because I did have a question about that as well.
are there any acquisitions involved in this?
No, sir.
Probably an if any kind of a thing.
Michelle Bobo's here in case.
Yeah, Michelle's here if
Michelle?
you guys wanna
Yeah.
ask her as well.
Michelle, would you have any insight?
Only that no acquisition should be included or required. I mean, you're just replacing existing, so.
It's just part of the boilerplate then?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't add any to the fee, obviously.
If applicable.
Yes, and obviously our fee would be coming out of the grant amount. So if
Right.
if you're not
Okay.
awarded the grant, which of course we hope you are, but that's to be seen. None of our, there were no Texas awards last round, so we're just hopeful
Good.
this round that we're getting smarter on the application.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carried. Item 11 is consideration of possible action on Resolution 741-23, authorizing the selection of engineering, architectural, and surveying service provider to complete implementation for the City of Navasota Natural Gas Distribution Safety and Modernization Grant Program.
Mayor, City Council, again, this is for the natural gas distribution grant. We also sent out RFQs on April 28th, and the deadline was May 10th. Ran the newspaper ad the same day, April 26, 2023. Staff received 2 proposals, Strand and Associates and TSG Industries. We decided to go with Strand as they are working with other gas within the city. And we've had a good experience with them.
Mayor and Council, if you decide to move forward with Strand Associates, if you could include that in the motion, that'd be helpful.
Right.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 741-23, authorizing the selection of engineering architectural survey service implementation for the City of Navasota Natural Gas Distribution Safety Modernization Grant Program.
To Strand and
To Strand and Associates, yes, exactly.
Second.
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 Motion by Mr. Fultz, second by Mr. Gessner to approve Resolution 741-23. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Item 12, consideration of possible action on Resolution 742-23, supporting the City of Navasota's application to the Texas Department of Transportation's 2023 Transportation Alternatives Set Aside Call for Projects, specifically Blackshear Piedmont, FM 3090 from South State Highway 6 frontage to the Union Pacific Railroad.
Mayor, City Council, in September of 22, the City of Navasota entered into a contract agreement with Goodwin Lanchester Strong, or GLS, to complete the 2-step application process for the 2023 TxDOT Transportation Alternative Grant Fund Cycle. There is an anticipated $250 million of federal appropriations under the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act to fund pedestrian improvements. In our application, we submitted pedestrian improvements of 6-foot wide sidewalks on both sides along the streets below. Blackshear Piedmont, FM 3090, from South Highway 6 frontage road up to Railroad.
I'm not sure the exact purpose of this. Is this just kind of a backup plan if they have money left over that?
No, this is a whole separate grant. It's through TxDOT. We had to submit 3 separate projects, and this is one of them that we had submitted with GLS, who is our grant administrator for this specific grant.
So we're just adopting a resolution that says that we support what we're doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve Resolution 742-23, supporting the application of the Texas Department of Transportation's Transportation Alternative Set Aside TA call for projects, specifically Blackshear to Piedmont, and from the frontage to Union Pacific. So.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fultz, second by Mr. Harris to approve Resolution 742-23. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Item 13, consideration of possible action on Resolution 743-23, supporting the City of Navasota's application for the Texas Department of Transportation's 2023 Transportation Alternatives Set Aside Call for Projects, specifically 5th Street, BNSF Railroad South along FM 379 to FM 379.
Mayor, City Council, again, this is for you guys to approve us to move forward with 5th Street, Railroad South along FM 379 to FM 379. for 6-foot wide sidewalks on both sides.
This is the second one, and so we got another one, we got three of them that we
Yes,
submitted.
sir.
Second
It's
of
2 of
three.
3.
Mhm.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 743-23.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Fultz to approve Resolution 743-23. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Item 14 is discussion of possible action on Resolution 744-23, supporting the City of Navajo's application for the Texas Department of Transportation's 2023 Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Call for projects, specifically LaSalle State Highway Business 6 South from Spur 515 to Boulder Street.
Mayor, City Council, again, this is to add 6-foot wide sidewalks on both sides of LaSalle South Highway Business 6 from Spur 515 to Boulder.
So I have a question, and that is, there's a new convenience store going in on North LaSalle, and I think that he decided to pay a fee in lieu of for sidewalks. So does that mean that we would still put sidewalks in, or because he didn't want sidewalks, I guess my question is, he was not gonna put sidewalks in whenever he changed the property, and so now we're gonna tell him we're gonna pay for it, and he paid a fee to pay for them, and not put them in? How does that work?
I think that would be something that we would have to get with GLS and him to move forward and see what we need to do on that side of things, because I don't think that we were aware that convenience store had those fees or paid those fees to not have a sidewalk.
I don't really recall what happened in that.
It was in lieu of.
Yeah, so he paid a fee to not have to put them in. I'm just curious how that works if we'll now put them in. And I don't know that it matters, but it's Boulder Drive is the street name.
Okay.
I don't know if that matters at
Mayor
all,
and City
but-
Council, I know the city manager and Loopy are on standby if we should need to call them at their conference.
I mean, I think we still need to approve it, but
Yeah, that could be something that
I'm
staff
just
can work
curious
out. Making her aware of it, that's, yeah.
Well, that has to be worked out.
Yeah.
With different properties.
Yeah.
Any service station that's there usually has a situation where it'd be difficult to put in a sidewalk there, so
Yeah.
that whole thing's gonna have to be worked out.
There's probably gonna be spots that
Yeah,
are won't be exactly lined up
Right.
and
Right.
different things like that. Well,
yeah, I was just curious if there had been a thought on that specifically, since that just happened recently.
I'm not sure that we're aware
Okay,
of that, but I'll find out.
That's cool.
take note.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve Resolution 744-23.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Fultz to approve Resolution 744-23. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 15, consideration and possible action on appointments to boards and commissions.
Mayor and City Council, the City of Navasota has an opening on the Planning and Zoning Commission due to James Harris being elected to position number 5 on the City Council during the May 6, 2023 election. Staff has received 4 applications for this position, one from Ethan Barczyk, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Max Brand, Jill Collin, and Cody Shashelsky. And currently, Ethan serves on the Zoning Board of Adjustment. So if the council decides to elect him to the Planning and Zoning Commission, we will need to have a discussion with legal counsel to clarify if he would need to resign from that board. That's just information only for y'all. And also, we received 1 application for 1 opening that we have on the Navasota Housing Authority Board due to the death of Richard Grimes. So,
I can address the zoning board of adjustment versus planning and zoning commission issue, if you'd like. I think, in my opinion, it would be, there's a doctrine of law. It's evolved in cases. It's common law doctrine of incompatibility. It's what it is. And so, in this situation, you're going to have somebody, if you would appoint Mr. Barczyk to both positions, one position is going to be making recommendations to the council in terms of ordinance provisions and ordinance amendments and those sorts of things, and then serving in the other position on the Board of Adjustment would be making decisions about exceptions to those ordinances. And so my advice would be to not only have them serve in one position rather than both, because I do think it could create a conflicting loyalty situation for
On
Mr. Barczyk.
that note, I've actually spoken with him, and he was willing to resign the spot off of Board of Adjustment, because he was looking at that as a kind of a step up to serve on planning and zoning. So just for information.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Jill Conlon to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And is it to fill the remainder of that position?
It would be for the remainder of the term, yes, sir.
Which is what? Do you know the term on that one?
I can get it just a second.
October, November.
September.
Did you just start your term?
Second year.
Second year. Okay.
Planning and zoning, it will come up in September of this year. And then it'll be, if whoever we select, if they reappoint it, then it'll be for 2 more years. But right now it's to fill the unexpired term.
Sure.
Mr. Harris.
Have a motion for Jill Conlon. Any other nominations?
Mr. Mayor, I think that Ethan Barzak has done a fine job on the Board of Adjustments. I'd like to see him move up. I nominate Ethan Barzak.
Have a motion for Mr. Barczyk.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Harris, for Mr. Barczyk to serve on planning and zoning, to fill the expired term. Is there a position number or anything like that? No.
Position number 1.
Number 1. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Robert Goldstein to the Navasota Housing Authority.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fulton, second by Mr. Gessner to appoint Mr. Bob Goldstein to the Navasota Housing Authority Board.
I'll check on that term as well.
Okay. And if he can hear us up above there, thank you, Mr. Grimes. Thank you, Richard, for your service.
That is for position number 4, and it goes through next year, September 2024.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Item 16, we have the consent agenda, which is the second reading of ordinance 1020-23 to abandon a 20-foot public alleyway located in Block 66 of the H&TC Railroad Additions in Navasota. Second item, approve second reading of ordinance 1021-23, amending the Code of Ordinances, Appendix A, Fee Schedule, Article A4000, Parks and Rec, Section A4009, adopting the revised Parks and Recreation Municipal Pool Fees for the City of Navasota with effective date May 22nd, 2023, amending Code of Ordinances, Appendix A, with the addition of Article A6000, Miscellaneous Fees, Section A6001F, Credit Card Processing Fees to cover costs of credit card processing fees with an effective date May 22nd, 2023. And lastly, the second reading of ordinance 1022-23, authorizing the settlement of the proposed rate increase of Entergy Texas, Inc.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Fultz to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. And so with that being the last item, we are adjourned.